this workshop will definitely change your life. Who is open to having like a bit of a life transformation? Any people here wants to? Okay, so some people, I understand, you know, you're comfortable where you are, you just want to learn a few more strategies, and that's cool. But what gives me pleasure is taking somebody and completely changing their lives by implementing some of these strategies. And the biggest transformations, the biggest changes will not come from the strategies that I'll share with you, although those are pretty powerful, but they'll come from the psychological, the mindset aspect of it, if you will. Changing somebody's aspect, changing somebody's mindset is really what changes their lives. Now, so I say this workshop will change your life, and I say this because when I was starting out, now 8 years ago, that was me. Actually, that's now 10 and even 11 years ago, when I moved to the UK and started working as a security guard, earning just £3.25 an hour, then £3.75 an hour. Now, you've probably heard this story before. I dug up this little tiny piece of paper that for some reason I've kept for over 10 years in my files. And basically, over a 9-month period, I think, I earned £5,900. I earned £5,900 over a 9-month period in 2001. I worked for 2 whole years, but this is just a piece of paper I found that I must have written around June or July 2002. And basically, I earned less than £6,000 in 9 months. Now just keep this in mind compared to what I'm about to show you, how things have changed since implementing some traffic generation strategies and some internet marketing strategies. Now, after doing that job as a security guard for 9 months, I decided, you know, maybe I need a change of career. I want to make more money. So I ended up working in telesales for a small training company. And they were based in Buckinghamshire, in Chesham in Buckinghamshire. And what happened then? Basically, for 14 months, I was doing telesales on the phone. I made just 1 sale in 14 months. They fired me from my job, of course, in November 2003. By the end of December that year, I was broke. I got kicked out of the place where I lived because I hadn't paid the rent in 2 months. And even before I got fired, because I was only earning about £800 a month, I was basically living on credit cards, even whilst I was an employee. So the £800 I would receive every month would simply go to my credit cards and to just cover the balance of the credit card. And very quickly, even that salary did not cover my debts on the credit card every single month. Who here has ever been a bit overextended on credit cards and lived on credit cards a little bit? So that was that. Then I got kicked out of the place where I lived. By January 2004, I was basically out on the streets. I was staying at a friend's place for 3 nights, another friend's sofa for 2 nights, another friend for 4 nights, and eventually I ran out of friends to do this with. So I ended up basically squatting in a derelict building on Earl's Court Road in London, the center of London. We're about 25 of us basically in this kind of semi-abandoned building with all the windows smashed out, like cardboard like contraplaqué wood for the windows and all that stuff. So that was me around early 2004. Now, as luck would have it, in November 2003, I had attended a seminar, and what I learned there would change my life. For starters, I met this gentleman. His name was Francis, and Francis was up from the north of England, I think Wigan or Preston or something like that. And he told me back then that he was making about $2,000 a month, $1,800 to $2,400 a month, selling his ebook on the internet. And at the time, I didn't think anything of it. Kind of at the back of my mind, I was thinking, well, maybe he can give me a job sometime, right? But a few months later, I called him up and said, Francis, look, I am broke. I don't even have food to buy. I don't even have money to buy food. I'm £7,000 in debt. Please help me. Do you have a job for me, or can you teach me about how to make money online? And he showed me a simple system. I actually told him, I'll work for you for free if you share this with me. Because Robert Kiyosaki in his books talks about how to work to learn, don't work to earn. If you just work in a job to get a salary, you're not really progressing. You're just doing over and over again the same thing. But if you work for somebody that can really teach you something powerful, that can really have a huge impact over the rest of your life, then that makes much more sense. So work for somebody who can be a mentor for you. And I was explaining this to him over the phone. I remember being at a payphone, and going, listen, Francis, this is the situation. Remember me? We met at the seminar. Anyway, he showed me his system. He became my first ever mentor. And so I followed his simple instructions. At that time, we're now in April 2004, all I knew about the internet was that I had a Hotmail email account. Okay. By early 2000s, people didn't really know much about internet marketing. So I followed the simple instructions, steps 1, 2, 3, and 4, and the result was that within 28 days, I had my very own internet business selling my ebook. I had one ebook selling on the internet, and it was selling for $67. So the first day that I put it online, 0 sales. The second day, I made my first sale, $67, whilst I was asleep. So I would go, Earl's Court has like lots of, Earl's Court Road has lots of, or had, I don't know if it's still there, but they had lots of internet cafes. So I would go into the internet cafe, pay my £2, get online, and kind of try and do things, right? So I made my first sale the second day, $67. Now, $67 in a day, that was more money than I'd ever made before in a single day. And I did it whilst I was asleep. I was like, okay, wow, this is weird. But I didn't quite believe it yet because this was too new to me. I was like, okay, the money's not in my pocket yet, so it's just on my ClickBank account. So let's just see how that plays out. By the way, throughout this whole time, I was still looking for jobs, for a job. So I was going around looking for a job, trying to do an interview, right? Trying to clean myself, shave, have some kind of okay clothes on to try and get a job interview, right? The third day, I made 2 sales, over $130 in a single day. By the end of the week, I'm making 5 sales a day. And if you're wondering how I got the traffic to that site, which is what you should be asking yourself, is I was paying for pay-per-click ads, pay-per-click advertising. I was spending maybe $5 or $10 a day on a credit card, on the final little limit on a credit card that I had to basically drive a little bit of traffic. Now, this was in the early days of Google AdWords when you could buy clicks for just 5 cents a click, 5 cents, 6 cents, 10 cents a click. So I was getting something like, for $5, I was getting 100 visitors, for example, 100, 120, 150 visitors in a single day. And with a conversion rate of 1% or 2% or 3%, sometimes 4%, this is how, out of just spending $5 or $10, I was able to make 3, 4, 5 sales a day. And then, by the way, very quickly, affiliates picked up on it, on the product, and started promoting it themselves. So now I was in competition with my own affiliates. They started driving way more traffic than even I was driving to my site. But within 28 days, I had my very own internet business that was now, within a week or two, started bringing in $10,000 a month. That was from one ebook. Later that year, towards the summer, I launched another 5 ebooks. And then the next year, I launched another 21 ebooks, I think. And by 2006, in 2006, it did $462,000 just from selling these ebooks on ClickBank. And since then, of course, with that capital, I went to more seminars, I attended workshops like this, and I started learning more strategies. So now I know a whole range of different ways to drive traffic, to make sales, to earn an income. I've improved my skills on different aspects of internet marketing. And these are the things that I'm going to be sharing with you. Basically, my £70,000 investment in learning about wealth creation, learning about marketing, learning about business. I'm going to share this with you, the best of the best, over the next 3 days. So this investment in my mind, in my education, has allowed me to do some cool things. And I have more than 64,000